Good afternoon and good morning for people on the East Coast. I am here with a wonderful superintendent, and we've had about a 4-hour conversation. Benna, Heidi, and Marie are watching on the other side of the computer. And the idea of really just trying to capture how City of Espoo is really trying to continue to grow and imagine the possibilities. So without further ado, would you please introduce yourself to the Learning Personalized community?
Hello, I'm Eeva-Kaisa Ikonen. You can call me or address me as Eva. And I'm Superintendent of Education of the City of Espoo. And Espoo is the second biggest city in Finland. So I'm responsible of the professional learning of teachers and principals, and also the curricula of basic education, general upper secondary education.
So when we were having our conversation this morning and looking at the powerful examples of growth, can you describe in a few moments on what it is that you're trying to look forward to?
Our school system is very leaning on tradition very, very strongly, and that is a strength here in a way. And of course, we have had wonderful results globally in all kinds of surveys, and you all know our PISA results and so on. But at the moment, our society is changing so much that we, globally and locally, that we really need to give new tools for our teachers to keep up with the change and see to the future, because we're actually working with the future when we're doing the learning with children and young people. And it's so hard for us to think what the world will be like in 30 years or so, and we will need new skills and capacity as educators for that.
So can you give an example or two of the kind of moves or ideas that you're going to be pursuing?
For example, we are trying to, and we're giving space and opportunity for students and teachers to work in new ways, like we have done with technology education and those Fab Learn Lab movement that we have. It started with one teacher in one school who visited a conference and in Canada, actually, on your part of the world, and she came back full of enthusiasm and asked in her school, primary school, if she could start a project. And we have supported that kind of work, and feel it's very important that change happens with people that are actually there learning with the learners. So she has invited several teachers in her school to join her work, and the students as well. And now gradually it has grown into a nationwide network where they share their work in Makerspace and Fab Learn Lab and technology education matters.
Yes, absolutely. And we've captured that in the Finland field study Twitter stream. So if that's something you want to take a quick look at, that's a great way to go after it. And one more question, how do you keep the community part of the growth process?
That's a very good question, because when the economic situation changes and all kinds of pressures are there with us that work in the education, and also with our political decision makers and the inhabitants of Espoo, many kinds of ideas about education, which is very costly, of course, and I'm happy that our city really gives us good resources, but of course they need to have something tangible or well seen to come out of it from all the economic resources and budget share that we have. And the way that I think that is best to keep the trust that we have in our education system in all of Finland, and which is one of our keys to the success that we have had, is to keep communicating with people and to involve them and engage them in developing our education, also locally in Espoo and of course at the school level. And that is something that we would like to learn more about, how to do it so that all people feel welcome to be part of developing school and developing education for themselves and for their children and the families. And when we are communicating and involving people, I think that is the way to build or keep the trust that we have. People are really interested in education at the moment, I'm sure globally, in Finland also. And the future skills, the 6 C's and so on, people seem to accept that is something that we need to sort of set for goals for education. But there are new ideas or old ideas that could disturb this trust with shorter term. So the communication and involvement are the key factors, I think, or I trust that is the answer. And the sort of the way that we want to do this and overcome the possible difficulties.
Well, thank you so much. And one of the things that we are so honored by is the level of reflection that we see in you and the opportunity to exchange ideas and very much grow our thinking together. So
thank you so much.
So thank you so much, guys. And
good morning, America.
Take care, and we'll see you back home in next week.